Good afternoon and welcome to the thorough newspaper analysis for 7th October 2022. So today we do have a news editorial article which has been taken from the Indian Express and has been authored by Manoj Jha, who is a representative in the Rajya Sabha. Now the name of the article ECI is Overreach, and it talks about the institutional bodies encroachment into other domains which was not particularly envisioned when ECI was first created. For the second and the third segment following the news editorial article, we will have the news update and the legal news, which you know are a part of LawSikho's initiative. So firstly, ECI's overreach. Now, the recent events have shown the advent of unprecedented times since the institutions have encroached their domains to where their intervention was not required. Recently, the Election Commission of India has released a circular that demands mandatory disclosure of the financial implications of the promises that are made by political parties in their election manifestos. Now, as you are aware, whenever the elections come, the political parties, the different contesting political parties come forward and make a lot of promises, often which are not, which do not turn to reality. Now, while that is a different question, it has become a recent trend for the political parties to go forward and in their election manifestos mention that if they were brought to power, they would be giving away a lot of freebies. So a couple of months back, the Supreme Court was vexed with this decision and or vexed with this trend of political parties, and it had asked the Election Commission of India whether any steps can be taken to curb this tendency or not. Now, the recent mandates of ECI have raised questions regarding the independence of ECI, and this is primarily like one of the biggest reasons is because of the Supreme Court case where the SC was vexed due to this trend of political parties promising freebies. So back then, the ECI in April had said that it cannot deregister political parties simply because they have promised to offer freebies in their election manifestos. However, now the ECI comes forward with a circular that makes it mandatory for the political parties to disclose how the promised freebies, if were turned into an actual scenario, would impact the fiscal or the coffers of the state. Now, further, the vocabulary used by the government or the ECI in the basically the ECI, the government wing in this case, lacks an understanding of the socioeconomic conditions and the realities of India. Under Article 324 of the Indian Constitution, the Election Commission is invested only in conducting free and fair trials. And so far, that is what we have known ECI to do. In fact, ECI has been such a stringent leader in this case that foreign nations have sent their diplomats to India to learn how election commission works and then implement these learnings into their electoral systems. Also, in addition to this, that is the Article 324 of the Indian Constitution, in the case of S. Subramanian Balaji versus the state of Tamil Nadu, it was held by the court that Representation of the People Act does not provide any restriction on any political parties to make promises in their election manifestos. Now, while ECI has, encroached domains and is trying to bring down the freebie trend in political parties, the agency must remember to not lose sight of its broader remit to protect the democratic nature of the Indian government. So with this, we move on to the news updates for today. Firstly, Dr. Vivek Murthy appointed as US representative on WHO Executive Board. The President Joe Biden has nominated US Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy to serve as country's representative on the Executive Board of the World Health Organization. Dr. Murthy, who is 45, will serve in the new position alongside his continued duties as a US Surgeon General. Secondly, we have IFC launches financing platform to respond to global food crisis. Now, responding to rising food insecurity, World Bank's private sector investment arm, the International Finance Corps, has launched a new $6 billion financing facility to strengthen private sector's ability to respond to the crisis and help support food production. Thirdly, we have a historic moment in which India's Rupay Debit Card is now going to work in Oman. So what happened is that National Payments Corporation of India and Central Bank of Oman signed a historic move to launch the Rupay Debit Card in Oman. which paved the way for a new era of financial connectivity. For the fourth update today, we have Sandeep Kumar Gupta takes charge as CMD of GAIL. A seasoned finance professional and an old public sector hand, Sandeep Kumar Gupta took over as the chairman and managing director of GAIL India Limited, which is the nation's largest gas utility. For the fifth news update today, we have PR Srijesh and Savita Punia voted goalkeepers of the year. Now, India's PR Srijesh and Savita Punia were voted the FIH Men's and Women's Goalkeeper of the Year, respectively, for the second year running. Srijesh once again showed his value to the team, playing in all the 16 games in the Pro League as India finished in the third position. For the sixth update today, we have Saudi Arabia wins bid to host 2029 Asian Winter Games. Saudi Arabia said that it has won a bid to host the 2029 Winter Games at a planned mountain resort in a Gulf Arab state's 500 billion flagship NEOM project. The last news update for today: Chemistry Nobel Prize goes to three scientists for development of click chemistry. Americans Caroline Bertozzi and Barry Sharpless, together with Denmark's Morten Meldal, were honored for the development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry, the jury said. The award marks the second Nobel for 81-year-old Sharpless, who won the Chemistry Nobel in 2001. Now, my question for you today will be, which is the other scientist who has won two Nobel Prizes? For the legal updates for today, we have arbitral tribunal must give reasons for fixing interest rate, award holder not entitled to interest for delay caused by it. Now, the Supreme Court in the case of executive engineer versus Gokul Chandra Kanungo held that a case where the award holder was responsible for delaying the proceedings, which led to a huge lapse of time, would be a fit case of exercising power under Article 142 to reduce the rate of interest on the sum of award. Secondly, Jammu and Kashmir delimitation orders finalized can't be challenged after Gazette notification. Center ECI tells Supreme Court. Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs, on behalf of the Union of India and UT of Jammu and Kashmir, filed a response with the Election Commission of India before the Supreme Court that opposes challenging the formation of the Delimitation Commission. And this happened in the case of Haji Abdul Gani Khan and another versus Union of India and another. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. You can also visit www.lawsikho.com for any further information.